Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that. Yes, winning Chelsea, the future, now infinite athlete is on our shirt. Surely that was the missing link. We just needed a front of shirt sponsor, and now we can go on a winning run, winning all the ruddy games, and everything's going to be all right.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Yep, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about the injury updates from Caicedo, Brugge, and Mudryk. Of course, all good performers on the day. Brugge and Mudryk scoring the 2 goals for Chelsea's 2-0 win over Fulham, and Caicedo putting in a good performance, playing as a lone CDM, which generally you love to see. This is what we've wanted from him. We're going to talk about what their injuries, of course they all came off injured, which is a worrying thing to happen on such a positive performance, or a feel-good performance. We'll speak about that, and we're going to speak about the future now. Where can we go from here? This is obviously going to be a huge talking point. People in the media, football pundits, are now saying, well, you know, I suppose this result was coming. Chelsea have been playing well, and, you know, and they got the goals now, and they're a young team, and they need developing and confidence and stuff, so yeah, really, really good. Thanks for joining me. Thank you for supporting the content. I'm going to start with the injuries, like I said, and then talk about what this confidence can do for the Chelsea players and team moving forwards. First of all, let's start off with Mudryk. He was asked about his injury by media, by Viva Play Football. They asked if he was okay, and he confirmed, yes, this is okay. Yes, I am okay. Of course, we saw plenty of media post-match from Misha, from Mudryk, sort of thanking the Chelsea fans for the support, looking very happy, looking like he's feeling good, and he himself, big smiles and confirming nothing is a big problem. So that is really important. I do want to talk about Mudryk a little bit more in just a second, because this could be a huge turning point for him. I know it's just 1 goal, but I think that's probably all it needed at this point. So Mudryk, hopefully, from what it looks like, injury list worries shouldn't be. Big tick. So who's next on the list? Well, Armando Brugge, he also came off, and he was asked about this in post-match media as well. Armando said this: "No injury, it's just a precaution. I've been out for a while, so it was always hard for me to come back and play a full 90 minutes. I did get a bit leggy just before I came off, so it was just a precaution." Now that is massively good news, because when he went down, and look, one of his teammates came up to him, and he was like sort of looking like he was in pain and nodding, and like, as in, I thought yesterday in my post-match, in my complete breakdown of the game post-match, I said that I think maybe this is a recurring injury, that he was confirming to his mate essentially, like, yeah, it's the same leg, and I was really worried. But he's saying no. So maybe his teammate come up and goes, "Are you right? You just got cramp, you just knackered," and maybe he was like, yeah, it's just that. Ooh, big collective sigh of relief, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I'm surprised he started this game. I was certain Raheem Sterling was going to play in the false 9, but apparently he had a virus, of course. So, you know, Brugge did quite well to play quite a long time. Also, big smiles post-match. Also feeling good. And yes, he's really hammered that home. Just a precaution, no injury. By the way, if you do want my detailed thoughts and breakdown on the match, do check out the previous upload, which is my complete breakdown of Chelsea 2, or Fulham 0, Chelsea 2. Finally, Caicedo. Now, this one also really worried me, because I'm just done with injuries. Our injury list is extensive, it's biblical, it's crazy, of biblical proportions, crazy long. And Caicedo. So Pochettino spoke about Caicedo in the post-match as well. Pochettino said this: "Moises Caicedo was a contusion, but hopefully it's nothing wrong. He was tired, but it's a contusion." Now, a contusion's like, I believe, an impact injury. So he was probably knackered, doing a lot of running. Chelsea really on it, trying to get that win. And of course, in the second half, Fulham turned it on a little bit, stuck it up Chelsea a little bit to try and get something out of the game. Chelsea were relatively unfazed and saw the game out quite well. Again, I'll go into detail in the last video. So for him to just be tired and have a contusion, when you get a knock and you're knackered, it often makes it more painful, I guess. Do you know what I mean? So that just sounds like, but give him a couple of days, it'll be completely fine. So in terms of injuries and our biggest fears and frustrations from that game, a trilogy, a triforce, one for the nerds out there, of good news. Mudryk saying he's fine. Bria saying no injury, just a precaution. And Pochettino saying hopefully nothing wrong, but he got a contusion, which I believe is like an impact injury, like a sort of bruise, I think it's an impact. Feel free to correct me down below if in the comment section. If you know more details on that type of injury, but that's what I believe it is. So that's feeling really good, man. Let's continue the good news and talk about the future. I really want to speak about the goal scorers. Firstly, Armando Bria. Of course, we've got two young strikers, Jackson and Bria. Now, they've both scored. I know both our strikers only have one goal each after 7 games. Isn't crazy. But Bria, 1 game, 1 start, 1 goal, which is really, really good. Of course, Jackson's got 2 goals in all competitions. But this could be massively good. So we start off with Armando Bria. Initially, it takes the pressure off Nico Jackson, I think. You might think, oh no, now the other young striker's got a goal, the pressure's on me to stay good and stay the number 1, but I don't think that's the case. I think they will both play games when they're both fit. Obviously, Pochettino massively trusts Nico Jackson, but, Simon Johnson of The Athletic published an article a few hours ago that reiterating the fact how Pochettino loves Armando Bria. And this is true, man. This is true because he's always going out of his way, a few times he's gone out of his way to remind the media, remind the public, like, guys, we've got Bria. Bria's great. Chelsea as a club, as an institution, highly rate Armando so much. Of course, there was that interview with Sterling a few months ago now, saying, look, people don't know about Bria yet. Like, you don't know. You haven't seen it, but this guy, he's the truth, He's ridiculously fast, people might not think it. They think because he's quite big, they think, oh yeah, Mudryk, he's like, the super, super fast, like Super Saiyan running dude. But actually, Bria is meant to be like, you can see it sometimes. And when he gets fully up to fitness again, I think we will see how rapid this guy is. And the people at training, they all know how fast Bria is. I feel like Pochettino, Chelsea as a club, they are all incredibly excited to see what Armando Bria can do. Of course, he scored his first Chelsea goal and got injured not long after. He's back. He's got 1 start. He got a goal. Yes, it was fortuitous from a Ream mistake, but he was there, bro. He was in the right place, and despite not being up to full fitness, he was doing everything right as a centre-forward should. It's great for Chelsea. It's great for him. I think it's going to be good for Nico Jackson as well because he'll know that if he doesn't score a goal, Bria can come off the bench and hopefully get Chelsea winning. Because it wasn't just the stress of him scoring goals. It becomes the stress of Chelsea being 14th in the Premier League table. That is an additional weight on the players. But if you can trust your teammate to also score a goal and bring you up the table as a as a collective unit, that when, that Forest opportunity falls to Nico Jackson, maybe he takes a split more second to think about his finish and just puts it in an empty net. Do you know what I mean? I genuinely think that this Bria coming in being like, a viable option again will be good for Nico Jackson as opposed to bad for him. And I think they'll both play every game. Genuinely. I think it's a classic for a manager to substitute strikers, attackers generally, but I think you'll see like Jackson, Bria feature both every game, whether one starts or the other one starts. So that's good. My washing machine's on spin. It sounds like it's going to explode. Jackson, good news. Can you hear that? I can see the mic picking up on it. Hopefully it doesn't explode. Anyway, also let's talk about Mudryk, man, because again, similarly, getting this goal, and it was a great goal. I said yesterday in my complete breakdown that he was applauded off in the game against Brighton, standing ovation, despite not getting a goal or assist. The Chelsea fans have supported him, and in his little post-match, it sounds really condescending, his little post-match video, but his short clip that he did for Chelsea, he's clearly very, very happy. He wants to do well for Chelsea. He feels the support of the Chelsea fans. Of course, the media as a whole give him a bit of grief. And I was chatting to my mate on WhatsApp yesterday. He's a Fulham fan. He says, look, because I was speaking about how opposition fans give Mudryk grief for no reason. Like, this dude is He's not an aggressor. He's just trying hard. I think because he costs a lot of money that opposition fans want him to fail. It's just how it works, I guess. But he was saying, yeah, it's a nonsense. As a Fulham fan, I wouldn't even mind him scoring against Fulham just to get the monkey off his back, he said. Shortly after, maybe within 10 minutes, he scores that goal, and I message him like, yep, there you go, he's still happy. But yeah, that will be massive for him because he has been recognised by the Chelsea fans. Of course, all these recent news stories have come out of late. Pochettino playing the crossbar challenge with him, putting an arm around his shoulder. I spoke about a behind-the-scenes an article about behind the scenes a couple of days ago, how Chelsea hierarchy, the ownership, are very pleased with how Pochettino's dealing with Mudryk. And after his goal, when he came off, after his goal yesterday, he was brought off at half-time, like Pochettino at full-time was giving him a bit of a hug. I can't remember at what point, but you could see that relationship. And Pochettino's notoriously good with young players. This is like his unique selling point, and getting the best out of young players and getting them to find confidence. And boy, we've got a lot of that. No wonder the Chelsea owners were very interested in getting Poch in after that long interview process, because they're going to be like, look, we've got a lot of young, talented potential players, but we're not going to bank on them to just come in and do the business. So we're really trusting you here, Poch, to get your arm around them all and start developing all these youngsters. And seemingly, especially considering watching Mudryk's first 6 months at Chelsea last season, I know it's slowly with 7 games in, but yeah, it looks like it's coming. It looks like it's paying dividends, this relationship between Pochettino and Mykhailo Mudryk, and him putting his arm around him. And it was a great goal, nutmeg finish in the goal, between the goalkeeper's legs. That's the kind of thing that we saw, Diego Costa do quite a lot. Not that he's a centre forward, Mudryk, but it takes confidence to do that. And that's not even what Mudryk's known for. Mudryk's known for being incredibly fast, an incredibly fast ball carrier. So he's not just about running into space. He can move really fast with the ball. But he's meant to have this absolute hammer of a finish. Now, before his goal yesterday, he did sky one. I don't think it's going to be long until we see Mudryk break the friggin' net off the goal. I do think that kind of goal is coming from him. He's got it in him. I was listening to the Athletic podcast. Adam Crafton spoke about it. He's like, this guy's got a ridiculous shot on him. And when he scores one of those goals, people are going to be like, oh, because now it's like, oh, he scored the first goal. He scored the first goal, nice little finish, good run. It's been coming, and that would do him the world of good. But when he scores that first ripper, I think that's going to be like the next step when people go, oh yeah, Mudryk, yeah. Arsenal wanted him for lots of money as well. Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. I think that will be coming as well. And maybe he needs to start a run of games. Look. Yes, we've got loads of injuries, but the fact how we've confirmed in this video that we've read the reports that Caicedo, Brugge and Mudryk aren't injured, that we can go into this final game before the next international break. And yes, like all of you guys, I am sickened that there's another international break so soon after the first one. But it's Burnley we play, so, hopefully we beat Burnley. That will be 3 wins in a row. And, Nico Jackson will almost certainly start that game. Hopefully he can get a goal. But you'd think this is the kind of game that he'd play 60, Brugge would play 30. Get another decent stint of time on the pitch, before the international break. And you'd have to say again, we will do a pre-match, a preview for this game when, after Pochettino's done his press conference at the end of the week. So keep it locked for that. But, I think Mudryk starts again on the left, I really think he does. It makes you think as well, when these players come back, like Chukwuemeka, or when Nkunku comes back, he has to start Nkunku. I know he's a little while off, it'll be a few months before he's back. But what if we've got this settled, almost 4-3-3 formation? At the moment now, if you said to me, Jan, everyone's fit, I'd probably struggle to make a lineup. Let's just do it for a bit of fun now. Despite Cucurella reborn at right back and Levi Colwill making amazing assists at left back, I still would probably start the captain and vice captain in Reece James and Ben Chilwell. I know this is probably going to cause controversy, but this is just my preference. I'm playing a really quick game here. I'd play Levi Colwill left centre back to still get those passes. And I'd probably play Wesley Fofana. And this is theoretical. Everyone's back and fit and back to their their form. So I'd go Colwill, Wesley Fofana. I know Disasi and Thiago Silva, whatever, even Badiashile, people would be like, what are you doing, Jan? That's just how I feel. As a right centre-back, Wesley Fofana is incredible, and he's very young. And if we can build the next decade of a centre-back partnership between Colwill and Fofana, that's what I want, man. That's all I'm saying. And then it gets tricky. Caicedo was maybe a lone pivot again, right? And then I can't drop Conor Gallagher. He won man of the match yesterday. And people are waxing lyrical about him across all media today. Do you know what I mean? Like, going, wow, Conor Gallagher, wow, captain, did like 11 kilometres running, was always hassling. And Enzo looked better again. And they were kind of playing as a number 8, as a 4-2, more like as a hybrid midfield 3 than a 2-1. So, and then you go, right, so what's next after that, Jan? Well, I keep Mudryk on the left, right? And then I keep Cole Palmer on the right because he's just looking absolutely mustard. So already Noni Madueke, Martson, Sterling are going to feel very disappointed. But then it's going to get even worse because I'm probably starting Nkunku as a striker and I'm dropping Breuer and Jackson because I'm playing a 4-3-3 so I can get Conor Gallagher in. I'm suddenly thinking it's more important to, not have a number 10 and get Conor Gallagher in there. So, because that midfield looks... I know it's early days and it's so easy to get overexcited so quickly. And then Nkunku can play as a striker and I think he'd be very effective in that role. So I'm playing a 4-3-3 with a front three of Mudryk, Nkunku and Cole Palmer. It's so funny how, things can transform so quickly. But at the same time, it's not funny because... It's not funny because we're threatening bottom of the table. No, it's not funny because Chelsea is so... in a transitional period, in an embryonic phase of Pochettino's Chelsea tenure that you've got to try things, Anyway, I wanted to talk about that a little bit. Essentially, I think these goals could be massive. I know they're just 1 goal each for Breuer and Mudryk, but I think what they could represent long term is an incredible potential transformation, and I'm just very, very excited about it. And of course, it's really positive, good news with the injuries. I put it out to you guys. I always welcome your comments down below in the comment section, so please leave those. Thank you for joining me on Football Therapy today. You're welcome to subscribe, consider dropping a like, and keep it locked because there's daily videos, of course. All right, mate. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Peace.